It's been called the find of a lifetime, a way of killing leukemia cells that is 1,000,000 times more effective than anything seen before. Researchers at the Simon Flavel Laboratory in Southampton have used an extract from this simple plant to help kill the cells. Now, the researchers have just returned from America, where they presented their findings at the biggest cancer research conference in the world. But can they develop a treatment to help patients? Here's our health correspondent, David Fenton.
It was called Experiment 136, just a test to see how a molecule from a plant called Gypsophila would affect leukemia cells. What it did was to help kill them, and not just some of them, but all of them, and much more quickly than anyone expected. This is how it works. The molecule, called saponin, punctures the cell, creating holes or pockets inside it. Antibodies carrying a toxin can then be released to kill it. About 500 children a year get leukemia, but how will this new research help them? In the first of two special reports, we look at the discovery and what it could mean for patients. Washington, D.C., and the biggest cancer research conference in the world is about to start.
In our system, it doesn't work.
It's 7:30 in the morning.
The cell kill here with the IC50 here.
David and Bea Flavel are making the most important presentation of their lives.
We can achieve an amazing, greater than 8 million-fold enhancement.
A millionfold. It's kind of mind-boggling. I don't know how can that be achieved.
There are 17,000 cancer specialists here, and David has no idea what they'll make of his discovery.
There may be scepticism from some people, but people are like that in science. It's what it's all about. There may be somebody who comes along and makes some scathing criticisms against it.
What I'm trying to figure out is what's happening.
But I'm sure that, what we're seeing is for real.
What they've found with a team in Berlin is a remarkable compound called saponin. It breaks down the outside of leukemia cells so antibodies loaded with toxins can get in and kill them. These are living leukemia cells, and these are the same cells treated with the saponin and antibody mix. In just a few hours, they're bloated and dying.
I think it's very exciting. This will allow us to do things, I think, which we were not able to do before in patients, and will open up a whole new revolution in this type of antibody therapy if we can make it work in people.
It's a big if, but David believes it is possible. 20 years ago, his son Simon was diagnosed with leukemia. He needed a bone marrow transplant, but first they had to find a donor.
Time is not on Simon's side. We are fighting against the clock, and every minute counts.
My dad has been telling me about it.
And what are your thoughts about that?
My thoughts are we are going to find a donor.
Sadly, that didn't happen. 3 months after that interview, Simon died, and his parents set up the research laboratory that now bears his name. It was here the team made their discovery, in Experiment 136, carried out by researcher Suzanne Holmes.
We didn't think it was true to begin with. We thought something had gone wrong with the experiments. The results were just so good that we didn't believe that it could be a true effect.
These are the actual results that Suzanne got from Experiment 136. And these figures here show the number of leukemia cells that are dying. By the end, 99.9% of the cells had been killed.
Well, this is interesting.
Good, thank you, Bob, thank you.
Back in Washington, things are happening. David's met a man with some saponin he doesn't need, and he's offering it to the team.
This is entirely new to us, so this has brought us together and will now allow us to actually do something together which wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Generally, the reaction has been good.
I think they have very convincing preliminary data in cell culture, that they really have found a huge change.
What they'll need to do is figure out how to be able to purify the natural material, I think, more efficiently than what they're currently doing. But the technology looks really good, looks promising.
But can that promise be turned into a drug that works for children like Ollie, who spent 5 months on chemotherapy and very nearly died?
You kind of know it's helping you, but still you think, why are they doing this to me? Because you just think they're just making it worse.
Tomorrow, we find out what children like Ollie go through and how David's discovery might help. David Fenton, BBC South Today.
And if you want to find out more about that research, you can at the Leukaemia Busters website. There it is on the screen, www.leukemiabusters.org.uk.